All right, so I'll start recording. If anyone else hops on, then, so, yay. All right, welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, so just a couple announcements. Are you guys both signed up for, yeah, you are in the Fit Challenge. How are your?
I am not. I know. I just didn't sign up.
It's okay, Paul didn't either.
I sent in my stuff, just not my photos. I sent in everything else.
All right, well, we're doing Harmony and I are doing the Fit Challenge. Harmony is doing her first ever Tough Mudder on Sunday.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo! That's awesome. That's exciting.
Scary.
What's that?
Scary.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome.
You'll be good.
There's something, what do we have for announcements? There was something that I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, did you guys read? And I put it on our team page too, and then Jess is like, I already sent it, or I already put on our team page.
Oh, is that why I couldn't like it? Because I was trying to like it and it wouldn't let me, and then it disappeared.
Yeah, so Ross Thompson are you in Ross Thompson's group, both of you?
Fit group?
Yes.
Okay, Did you see how he spelled out the nutrition dilemma? And the whole.
No, I have been on Facebook very limited the past week or two, so I missed that.
Well, and I hear you because I'm the same way, but I happened to see a few things, and that was one of the things I saw, and it was so good because it talks about how, basically if you're not getting nutritionally dense foods, you're not going to lose weight. And it's not just about cutting calories or when you tell people to add more calories, and he talks about, can you still lose weight by having a glass of wine or a piece of pizza, and so Jess put it in our Team ISA Impact page, and she also put it under files. So I think it's just really, really good, especially for people that are new to this and don't understand why a shake is so important, because it clearly talks about, you can eat, it's not about the calories at all. It's about getting yourself the body what it needs, and that's what our shakes do. So anyway, I just recommend that if you haven't read it, to read it and then kind of put that in your toolbox, like things that you save on your desktop. That's what I do with a lot of things, and then, to copy and paste. So when people are, say, oh, I just eat food or whatever, that's a good one to share, because, and he's got accreditation. I mean, he used to be, well, he still is. He's a personal trainer and a former gym owner, so he knows his stuff. So anyway, I just really like that.
So if we were searching for it, what is it called?
Wasn't it called The Nutritional Dilemma?
Nutritional dilemma.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's either you can look in the Fit group or just put it under files.
Okay.
On our team page. So it's really, really good. So, all right. And then I noticed, so if you are free on Monday nights, I noticed that Danielle has started to post the Zoom calls that they do in the Believe page. So if you are able, so it sounds like they're opening it up to everybody. And I think partly because I don't think it's going, it's going okay. Some of their speakers have been better than others.
Yeah.
But they're still, so it's open to anyone now. So, and I'll start putting the Zoom call on our 90-day Game Changers. But if you're available Mondays at 8:00, you can watch it from your house. Because I know initially they were intending to only give it out to a limited number of people and trying to have more of a gathering so that you could talk about it afterwards, and which is good, having your own little training, but now it's open to anybody. So I'll start posting that. So if you're
Are they recording them now?
They say that they are, but I've never seen it where it's been posted. So I was going to ask Jess. I don't know if they're posting it in like Kayla's group. I have no idea where they're posting it. I've never seen a posting. So for the most part, I've been listening to, are you sending it to them?
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, I've been listening to, I've been present at every single one. But I'm hoping Paul gets a good Packer guest one of these Mondays, and I'll actually want to go.
Yeah, that's so cool.
She doesn't want to meet the rookies, apparently.
So I still will fuel them with Isogenics, and they'll still get our love. But I know. So Monday night, I'm like, I got to get home so I can listen to Zach Slobin. So I didn't even want to
Zach is good, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So Monday night's call was on Zach Slobin. So if you don't follow him, Harmony, he's probably a new name to you because he's not on our team as far as under Kelly and Tyler, like everybody else that we've talked about. He's still very much a leader and a trainer, but so Slobin is Slobin for those of you that don't know who he is.
He and his wife, Eden,
Yep.
Eden.
Yep. So he does a lot of trainings at different events. So he talked about, and it was so powerful. One of the things that I love about Isagenix is there's a lot of Christians in our organization and a lot of Christian leaders, and they openly talk about their faith, which is one of the things that Paul and I love so much about Isagenix. But so he talked about the law of attraction, and basically what it means is what we think about, we bring about. So, again, it's basically what it says. So everything that we think about. So if we're thinking about positive things, we're going to have a positive feel to us, and a positive vibe is going to come off of us. And every action has a reaction. So everything that we do, it's either going to be a positive reaction that we get from people or negative, and it's all based on what we do. I can tell Paul wants to jump in here.
Well, I'm good. Just listening.
Because this is totally Pastor Paul's thing here. So if he was on Monday, he would have had hands raised and, yeah, Zach. Right. So just a couple of highlights that I pulled out. So we're making a decision for our people based on our mindset. So one of the things he asked, he goes, what are some of your objections? And people threw out all these objections. And the common objection for most people is finances. And so he talked a lot, and he said, how often is that? So looking at, your objections that you've gotten from people, what's the one common one that you would say you get the most? And for Paul and I, ours is crickets, honestly, right now. But if we do get an objection, it's money. And so he said, you take the one that's most common to you, and subconsciously, if money is our primary objection, that's because when we talk to people, unknowingly, we're portraying that this is expensive because we're, trying to overcome and selling ourselves for, it's not expensive because how much do you spend on this, this, and this? And so not even knowing it, we're portraying that it's coming across as expensive. So what's that?
I believe it.
Yeah. So he talked a lot about our energy, and if we have the energy that it's expensive, even if we don't say it, even if we try to say, justify, it's people are still going to say no, and they're going to say, oh, I can't afford it or whatever, and he talked about, and it may not be that they are like, oh, it's expensive, but they just will get this feeling because he talked about, how you are around somebody and you just get this weird vibe and you kind of back away. You don't know what it is, but you just get this weird feeling about somebody that you don't like. So you don't go up to them or you don't approach them or, so he said, it's kind of like that, like you can't put your finger on it. So when we're talking to people, it's not like they can put their finger, but they know that we're not 100%, believers in that this isn't expensive, because otherwise we wouldn't have the same objection over and over and over again. So he talked a lot about our unconscious mind and how that is actually turning people off from Isagenix. So, and he is very much in the same mind frame as Herb Cepeda. So it's CEPEDA. They are, for Harmony and everyone else listening, they're the top income earners in Isagenix. They're very much both the same way. And when I listened to Herb at Celebration, we should have the mindset, instead of getting, and I know I've said this before, but instead of getting excited that somebody signs up and being like, woohoo, which of course we should be excited because we know somebody's saying yes to making a change in their health. And that's ultimately their goal. But we need to have the mindset of, you don't want to be a part of this. We should be in shock that they don't. So we should be so confident and, in what we say, in our approach, in our demeanor, that they want to do it because we know 100% that this is going to help you. This is going to, help you with your goals or financial freedom or whatever it is. And we should come across like, I can't believe you don't want to join us. Like, why would you not want to do this?
And his his great tagline was, what about feeling healthier, looking sexier, and making more money? Don't you want, or something like
Yeah.
that?
What part of that isn't
What
appealing
part
to
of that
you?
isn't appealing to you? It was fun.
So, but he very much talked of, very, very similar mindsets, and they're both very, very successful. So anyway, we should have that look of shock for that people that don't want to. And again, our energy should just be so positive that they want to join us. And people don't join us because of Isagenix. They want to join us because of us. And I know we've heard that many of times before, that they don't know anything about Isagenix. It's because they join because they trust us. They trust what we say. We've had a good experience. They like what they're seeing in us. They like the changes they've seen in us. They like how we're portraying ourselves on Facebook or whatever. So that's why people join, Isagenix. Some people, obviously, it takes longer just because of fear. And we've talked about, fear before, fear of failing. That's the number one reason why people really don't join. But again, they're going to join us for us. He talked a lot about being unattached to the outcomes. So I think I said to Harmony today, was it you, Harmony? Or maybe it was Liz, I can't remember. But anyway, he talked about, okay, so we can't, when somebody says no, we can't take it personally. And he gave the example to, was it you, Harmony? Of a waitress, gave a couple examples, but I love this one, of a waitress serving coffee. When she goes around from table, do you want some coffee? Do you want some coffee? If one person says no, she goes to the next one, And he said, if she gets 4 or 5 no's, does she slam down a pot of coffee and like, nobody wants my coffee, I quit, I can't do this? It's exactly the same thing. Like, no, people are saying no to the coffee. They're not saying no to her. So that's the same thing as what we have. They're saying no to Isagenix right now, or they are saying no to the opportunity. They're not saying, or not yet. They're not saying no to us. So, I think sometimes we take it personally if people don't, say no. And I actually had to tell myself this today because I reached out to somebody and I said, this may or may not be for you. I know you're getting married soon, and I wanted to know I said, I'm not sure if you've seen the post I've had on Facebook about the success that my husband and I are having with our nutrition company. Would you want some more information? And, she's like, no, thank you. And a small part of me was like, oh, but then I'm like, you know what? It's okay. She said no to wanting more information. I can't, so I'm like, all right, said no, and you move on. So I know for myself, it took me a long time to get there. And, and that's what I was telling Harmony, like, we have to remember, for those of us that are starting versus those of us that have been doing this longer, it takes time to being told no is not pleasant. But again, we have to remember it's not us, it's the opportunity. So another thing he talked about is being self-motivated and being coachable. And so when we look at, if we're getting frustrated because our team isn't doing something that we want, because we all have our own team, we have to look at ourselves. Okay, because the lead of the pack will follow the leader. So if we're frustrated because our team isn't doing what we want them to do, then we need to look at ourselves and be like, okay, are we doing everything ourselves that we want our team to do? If we're frustrated because our team isn't, posting on Facebook or whatever it is, and everyone's different with their people, then we need to look at ourselves. Okay, is that what we're doing? So we talked a lot about that, because a lot of times we pour so much energy into our team, and what we need to do is looking at us, because whatever we do as leaders, our team, will follow. Let's see. Oh, he talked a lot about just having a positive mindset. And one of the things that he said that I really liked, when we get told no's, and if we have a day where it's a lot of Isagenix and it's just kind of a bad Isagenix day, and we've all had those, and we just, are down, or our cycles are low, or we haven't had an enrollment in a while. And, I can say that even when I look at the $1 Million Challenge, I'm like, look at all these people that are ahead of us, and we've been doing this longer than them. I can let that get me down. But he's like, our worst day that we think is a bad day is somebody's dream day. When we look at how many people in this world are out there that don't even have an internet or a computer. And Zach actually lives 1 block away from Skid Row, which is the poorest of the poor of the poor in California. and, you know, looking at what we have, and is our bad day really a bad day? And really thinking about that, you know, when we feel like, ugh, this day, you know, can it get any worse type of thing? Just really thinking about others and what we do have and thanking God for those blessings. And you know what? Maybe we need to just step away from Isagenix that day, thank God for what we have, and tomorrow's a new day.
I relate it to the golf mentality for those who play golf or who may watch this later and play golf. You know, you hear that all the time. You have a bad day on the golf course, and what do people inherently say? Well, a bad day on a golf course is still better than the best day at work. So, you know, it's a mindset really, and which is true. You know, I'd rather have a bad day out on the golf course and be walking and, you know, being outside and getting exercise than stuck in an office somewhere and having a great day, you know.
Mm-hmm. And they also talked about, you know, associating or being around people that you would want on your team. And I know we've talked about that before because, you know, people that you sign up on your team, these are people that you're going to be spending a lot of time with. You're going to be coaching them, and you're going to be, you know, because everyone you sign up, you want them to have a good product experience. So the type of people that you want on your team are the type of people that you want to be around. So that's one of the, you know, things that they highly talked about is when you're out looking for, you know, people to talk to. And we talked about our ISA wish list either last week or the week before. I mean, that's okay. So since last time we were on the phone, so I've been praying. I'm like, okay, who's, you know, somebody, you know, who are people that God wants me to reach out to? And I didn't even send her a friend request. She sent me a friend request. So I friended her back, and, you know, we were just kind of chatting or whatever. And I just said, you know, I don't know if this is even something you'd be interested in, but I just wanted to let you know what, you know, Paul and I have been doing for the last 2.5 years, and I think you'd be really great at it. Would you be interested? Oh, sure. So I sent her the Mary Evans Just Cleanse video, because again, it's only 8 minutes. It's short and sweet. And she's like, oh my gosh, tell me more about Isagenix. I loved what I saw. I want to learn more. I would love to do something like this with you. And I was like, oh, you know, but again, I shouldn't be like cheering. I should be like, well, heck yeah, you want to do this with me. Okay, so just a second, you can tell your facts. So, you know, it was so cool how God, like, she wasn't even one of my friends, because I was kind of scrolling through my friend list and like, okay, Lord, who are people that are like-minded that I, you know, it would be a good fit? And then she sends me a friend request like the next morning. It was a God thing. So anyway, a little side note, Kate and Audrey have a fun fact they want to share.
I want to read it, please. I want to read it.
It's for all the kids in the world.
It's for all the boys in the world.
And the girls.
Well, most boys.
A commercial break.
Here, read it.
You're supposed to read it.
Okay. Playing a video game can change parts of the brain. Areas of the brain responsible for hand-eye coordination can become stronger, and problem-solving and memory can improve too.
Oh, what?
It's a weird but true book.
I don't believe it.
I think we've read that before at our house too.
Oh, do
That
not
means
believe
it's
it.
true.
I'd say that's weird and not true.
Yeah, my kids think it's true.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure.
It is.
Yeah, all right. So quiet.
Yeah, this commercial break brought to you by Kate and Audrey.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. What were
So do you have anything you want to add? And then I want to.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I know
Talk to 'em about
I've
their
touched
struggles.
on, I've touched on the, you know, the whole kind of birthday message thing as one element. And obviously I just had one. So I had a bunch of people, you know, that reached out to me, and I went, you know, I'm still in the process of going through that birthday list because it was quite extensive, which is a blessing. But the one gal was, what I told Ann, was somebody that I used to work with. And I just, you know, we just kind of had a brief exchange about what are you doing now that she was asking me. You know, I thanked her for the birthday message. What are you doing now that you're not in TV? And I told her a little bit, and oh, that's cool. And I kind of sat there for like a day or two, and then I followed up with just, you know, what we've been talking about. It's like, hey, you know, I don't know if this is something that would be interesting to you at all, but you know, this is what we've been doing type of message. And, you know, would you be open to taking a look at some more information? She's like, yeah, I'll take a look at it. Like totally, you know, responded back. So I sent her the max results now. And that was a couple of days ago. And I followed up with her twice now. but and she hasn't gotten a chance yet to look through the website, but at least she was honest with me about that and said, I've been busy. I haven't got a chance to look at it, but I will. And, and as soon as I do, as soon as I get a chance to look, I'll get back with you. I promise. But, it's just kind of that, another verification about being diligent in some of the, just these little things. And it can come down to just, whether it's messaging other people on their birthdays or about special events or going through and, taking the time to respond to people who are messaging you or liking your posts and going back through the likes, making sure you're friends with all those people. And if you're not friending them, and seeing what happens. So I just wanted to throw that in there because it was just one example again of how some of that can actually turn into a positive conversation. So,
yeah. And make sure, so if you are reaching, thank you for liking my post or in a birthday message, again, make sure you kind of look at something like, this year, Katie and I were turning 40, so we have all of our classmates are starting to turn 40. So I just had a classmate that turned 40 today. So I looked at her feed, a little bit before sending a message, and I saw she had a big birthday party over the weekend. And, happy birthday, Danielle. Looks like you had an awesome birthday party over the weekend. And, because if you just send happy birthday, you're not as, you may get a response, but you may not. But I made sure I add something personal in there because then it increased the chances that she would respond, which she did. Now, because of that, Facebook sees that as a connection. So my stuff will show up higher on her feed. So that's why it's very, very important to try to have those instant messages, even, a couple of correspondences back and forth, if you can get that. And even if the conversation goes nowhere else, but yet if they're watching your feed, and that's the thing, we want our stuff to come up on people's feeds. You never know what people are going to like.
what's going to spark them,
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. I'm looking through, so I was looking at Zach Sullivan's notes that I took on Monday, and I'm looking at Herb Cepeda's notes. Honestly, everything is word for word, and they're both very successful. But Katie posted Len Hagedorn's website. Herb and Patty gave us their website too. It's www.besetfree.com. So that's their website. So if you guys want to take a look at that, www.besetfree.com. So that's their website that they have. So, that's the nice thing about Isagenix. We can use anybody's website, otherwise they wouldn't give it out so freely. So if you find one that you like, whether it's Patty and Herb's, whether it's Max Results Now, whether it's whoever, if you find that there's things in it that you like, use it. That's what it's here for. And here's Herb's tagline. You don't want to be leaner, healthier, sexier, or wealthier. Which one of those don't appeal to you?
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. All right. So since we met last week, how have things been? What are your struggles? I know, Katie, you said you've been really busy, which I get. I can't wait for soccer to be done because Paul's gone from 3:00 until whenever. So I'm a single mom flying with kids and
besetfreelife.com.
Oh, I'm sorry. besetfreelife.com.
Cepeda Express.
Okay. besetfreelife.com. So anyway, how have your weeks been? So Harmony, asked the question. What questions do you have? How are things going with Dory? I know Harmony. Dory is one of Katie's people that is having a good experience and started to share, and she posted something on Facebook. And that's something too, between the 9 of us that's on there, if you have somebody that puts a post up and you want attention on it, because it's so hard to get everybody. Or if you put a post yourself that you want us to comment on, because again, if you comment, it will come up on your feed. And that's what we want. Don't be afraid to post that on there, because I know I'm not on Facebook as much as I'd like to be. So don't be afraid to put that on our little thread. But so Dory, so she's put her first post and she's sharing, which is good.
Yeah, she told me today she's down 15 pounds. I know.
Put another post on.
Yeah, I know.
Is she even done with her 30 days yet?
No, she started the day after Labor Day. So I don't even know what day that she would be on right now, but she's already ordered her 30-day system for the next month. So she's looking forward to continuing it.
Yay, that's a $25 coaching bonus for you.
Yeah, I know. So, and she indicated, as we said, that she's interested in learning how to get her products paid for.
Mhm.
So yeah, and has been sharing a bit, and I know that people are noticing a difference in her and asking her, so I'm hoping that just comes along naturally for her.
So Harmony, like hearing stories like this of, Katie's friend, for your people that are like, well, I want to lose weight. You can be like, my friend Katie has someone that started, and again, we can't say she started a short time ago and she's down 15 pounds. We don't want to give, because we don't want, for us, because we're doing it, but we don't want to give information like that so that people think, oh, so in 3 weeks, I'm going to lose 15 pounds. So that's why we just have to be very careful how we word things. So either can say she's, she's not, within a couple of weeks, or probably, I would say even just in a very short period of time, she's already down 15 pounds, because we don't want to give
Weight and dates.
Yeah. Just because then we don't want somebody to get frustrated to be like, how come you said I was going to lose 15 pounds in 3 weeks or whatever. So, but use those stories. That's why we share stories. And obviously our Team ISA Impact page has tons of stories. That's why we have them on there, so you can use them.
But that being said, I have used like the, kind of the company-wide average, which is, which is 12 to 15 pounds in 30 days. And that's factual. So, I have used that on occasion. I don't use it all the time, but, that's fair enough to share. But if somebody's individual results, if you're not, using a generalized number like that, company-wide over the course of 14 years, this is, what it's boiled down to. That's one thing. But, just to use one person's results and throw that out there, which is atypical, that's what you want to avoid.
Now, Harmony she's been messaging me a little bit because she had her sister who, lost 10 pounds. And sometimes we see this a lot too. They like lose a lot of weight in the beginning and then they kind of plateau and they're like, this isn't working for me. Blah, blah, blah. And I've had that a lot too. And I'm like, okay, hello, first of all, stop. When's the last time you lost 10 pounds in that short amount of time?
Yeah, and I said that to her, and she goes, "That's true."
Yeah.
Not even cleansed. She won't.
Yeah.
Cleanse.
So that's very impressive. But then, you're going to plateau, and that's how we just need to. And Harmony's sister is a perfect example of someone that truly has a low self-esteem or just doesn't believe in herself, that she wanted to give up and quit because she noticed the scale wasn't moving anymore. And that's when we need to, that's why we really need to stay close with our people, find out what their goals are from the beginning. Like I said, if you don't feel comfortable handing them an interview form, asking the questions, what are your goals? What are you looking to achieve? So that we can pour, some people you're going to have to pour more love into than others. Like Liz, who is on our thread, she's still in her first 30 days. She's a go-getter. Oh my gosh, the question she's asking me is like, whoa, I did not even come close to understanding any of this within my first 30 days. So, you're going to know within a short amount of time if they're go-getters or if they're going to need a lot of hand-holding and stuff, and that's okay. I remember when I first started, I think I was messaging Jess 100 times a day, and I'm sure I drove her crazy. So
I've been hurt more than I was messaging you.
That's true, Harmony.
well, it is not. It's not.
I believe it though.
So what are some of the challenges you guys are having? Anything?
Crickets, of course.
Yeah.
But for me right now also is just time.
Timing.
I've been working almost full time. But I have 4 conversations going on. They say they're ready. I don't know really what they're waiting for. But hoping next week, depending on what the promotion is, to really nail them down and get them pushed off the fence.
Have you ever asked them, because this is a conversation I have with Paul all the time, I'm like, why aren't you getting these people off the fence? Have you asked them what they're waiting for or what's holding them back?
Yeah, 2 of my coworkers have just bought a house, and Kayla, another coworker, is waiting for her cousin to do it with her, who just had a baby in July.
Okay.
And then Lacey actually just reached out to me last week, and she and I are just beginning a conversation. So she's
Okay.
just now taking a look at the videos.
Cool. Okay. And one of the things, Danielle, and I know, I feel like in the beginning when we first started this, Katie, everyone's like, well, if you can't get the 30-day, then wait, save your money until you can get the 30-day. But now, the big push is it doesn't matter. Just get them started on something. Even if it's one shake a day, get them started. Because it's going to increase your chances of them
liking and seeing some kind of positive results.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, your people, but I feel like that's kind of a shift in how it used to be versus what it is now because, Danielle, because Danielle's on some advisory board or whatever, Danielle Thompson, and whatever call she had with Kathy Coover, they're just wanting people to get the products in their body. In a system or not, they just want people to get it in their body. So, depending on what their goals are, if it looks like it's going to be a long time before they have money, that I'm just, as a suggestion, well, how about just starting with a shake a day? What do you, but your people, but that's, I feel like I said, that's been kind of a shift in what it used to be.
Yeah, let's think about that.
What the heck did you just say?
I said shift. What did you just say? Harmony, what if some of your struggles?
Well, but I do have two that are waiting for payday Friday. So
Okay.
One of them, I don't know. They can change their mind still, but as you know. But yeah, two of them swear by it, so they're waiting for payday on Friday, and then we're gonna work on it on Monday morning.
Yay.
I wanted them to not they have to pay for the enrollment if they're really that close, if that's what they're waiting for. I didn't tell people ahead about it.
Yeah.
Or maybe say, oh, no, wait, or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and these people that are on the fence and, and waiting for the promotion, tell them, hey, if you grab a couple of people and they order the same pack you do, you can get half of your money back. So use this time now, between now and Monday, start talking to people. And that's when we're available, myself, Paul, Jess, Katie, anybody. Because obviously your people that are just going to sign up aren't going to have a clue. So that's when you reach out to, be like, hey, if you have someone you think that might want to do it with you, I know you don't have the answers. I'll talk to them. Let's get on the phone call. Let's, Facebook, whatever. Because Liz has somebody too. Her daycare lady is going to sign up her husband. And she's waiting till Monday because of the promotion. I'm like, okay, between now and Monday, tell her she needs to find one more person, and that just gives them time to think about it because gosh, if they know they can get half of their money back, that's huge. So, and with the promotions, they say don't hold enrollments. So I'm not telling you to hold enrollments, but I get it because it is still a $30 savings to people. But if somebody did sign up this week, the next week is a week that you want them to rank advance. Like, okay, now you can sign up 2 people and they can sign up for free or whatever the promo is. So use that, if they do want to sign up right away, okay, let's get your next week then. Let's get half of your products paid for. And really try to with your people. So like Liz has someone interested and then she has another lady that wants to sign up next week. So kind of work with your people and help them out too, because if Liz signs up one, Friday and then the other one signs up Monday, then she loses out on those double PIDs. So kind of because your people don't like Dory, for example, she's not going to know that. And again, not saying to hold your enrollments, but yeah, we want